Okay, I'd like to start by complimenting Coach Strong's team. They've got an excellent football team. We knew that this would be a tremendous challenge for us as a program to come in here and do 1-0, and we didn't get that done. There are certain things you have to do in games like this because your margin of error is so small, and we didn't do those things this evening. Questions?
Cal, did you feel like you had opportunities, just weren't able to capitalize on them, especially in the second half?
Sure, yeah. I thought we were fortunate to get out of the first half at 17-7, I believe was the score at halftime. And I was really optimistic in the locker room because I thought, we hadn't really played very well in that first half, and the fake field goal, it got us to the point where we could get one in the end zone, and I knew they were getting the ball to start the half, but I felt pretty good about only being down 10 at the half, and in the second half when we got within a 7, we certainly felt a little bit better, and I think it speaks to the fight of this football team. There's a lot of things we need to correct from today that we didn't do well enough, but the one thing that we did was fight the entire game, and I'm proud of them for that.
Coach, could you just talk about Gary's play?
Well, it's hard to talk about Gary's play really without talking about the protection, because I think there's going to be no question some decisions Gary would like to have back again, sometimes maybe just to take the ball and take the sack, but we certainly took enough of them, that's for sure. Just looking at it, 8 sacks in the game, and he probably could have taken 2 or 3 others without putting the ball in jeopardy. So, I think the biggest issue we have right now is protecting him better. And again, I want to credit Louisville. They got some pretty good players up front. They did a nice job pressuring us, but 8 sacks is not acceptable, and we got to do a much better job.
How much of the sacks and Gary's numbers are because you weren't able to run the ball as effectively today either? I think it always has an effect on it. If we didn't run the ball early. I thought we ran the ball better in the third quarter. And when you don't run the ball early, and you end up in a hole, now you got to throw it a little bit more to try and get back in the game. The things that we're lacking. If you're lacking both a run game and big plays in the passing game, it becomes hard to score points. And we fought. We scrapped. We played good defense in the second half in terms of turning the ball over, even though they drove the field on us a little bit. We were able to turn them over a couple times. But in the end, the margin of error is just too small. It's not enough.
How much did things change, especially in the secondary? When Toller went out, I guess you eventually took Barnwell out?
We had Barnwell come out. We put Chaffin in.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a little bit similar to the Muller situation from the week before. I think sometimes with a young player, it's good to get him out and coach him, let him see, and then at some point we'll get him back in. He's not going to be there for the season for sure. Nadir's too good a player.
But I mean, how restricted we're down to 2 players. Glasson's not there, and then
sure.
Toller goes out.
Yeah, but you're right, and we've got some young players out there playing. I think 8 true freshmen and a bunch of redshirt freshmen, but that's not an excuse. We're not going to make any excuses. We train all those players during the week to perform, and they know that when they're on the field that they're the starter. So they'll be better for playing, and we'll be better down the road, but that doesn't make us feel any better tonight.
With the offensive line struggles today and throughout the season, does it ever make you go back and question the shifts you made in the lineup going back to spring?
I don't know that I agree when you say the struggles they had from the season. I think tonight we really struggled against a very good defense, and if we end up in that kind of situation again, we'll have to come up with a different game plan. And certainly the game plan we had for today we thought would be the right one, and it didn't work out that way. But we'll have a different one next time. We'll see. We'll have to see what the matchups are. The next game now we have a bye week, and then I believe a game against Houston is the next game we have. Jay, is that right? So we'll have to look at their defense, see what the matchups are. But I don't feel the same way about our guys up front tonight that I felt the rest of the year. So I don't know that I agree with the premise of what he said.
Kyle, how about Teddy's play? I mean, he ends up with 300 yards, but after the 17-0 lead, it seemed like you guys, held him in check as much as somebody holds him in check.
Well. Again, you're not going to stop him from making all the plays, that's for sure. You try to minimize his effect on the game, and I thought we did that to a certain degree. I'd have to look at it to see what they were on third down. 9 of 13 on third down. I think that tells you Teddy Bridgewater's effect on that game. And again, even though the numbers may be there, or you may think it's not the type of performance that he normally would have, but 9 of 13 on third down keeps his team on the field and is enough to beat us tonight.
Coach, what went into the play on 4th down to throw in Tartikoff to Crawl?
On the fake field goal?
Yeah.
We know it's something we had practiced, and I thought it was the right time. I thought we needed something to jumpstart us a little bit and get us on the board, and I felt good about it, and it worked.
Got down 17-0. Just what kind of fight did you see with the turnovers, the special teams plays to get in a position to try and tie it in the fourth quarter.
I don't ever doubt that about this football team. You know, we've been, now we've really played half our season. We've played 6 games, 3 of them on the road, hostile environments against some talented players, and we're 4-2, and there's no lack of fight in this football team. So, we're disappointed about tonight's outcome, but we're excited to get back to work as a program because we've got a lot of football left to play this year.
Do you have any updates on Toller's injury? It looked kind of serious.
He broke his arm.
Oh.
And Lou's parents were here, and they were in the hospital with him, and I don't have more of an update than that, but that's the situation.
Would you normally have liked your chances with what happened in the second half? Recovered 2 fumbles, blocked the field goal, they missed a field goal, all when it was a 1, maybe 2 10-point game?
Sure,
score.
I mean, we had the ball with us, we had the ball down 7. I mean, out, on the road, in a hostile environment against a top 10 football team, I would take that anytime. And I had complete confidence at that point that we were going to make the plays to win the game. But we didn't do that, and we got to execute better. And there's a lot of things we need to do better. But if you're asking me if I'd take that scenario, I certainly would take it.
Any other questions? Thanks.
Thank you.